Howdy, howdy. Weekend Wanderer 3, checking in. I finally have my Pomoly Hex Plus tent set up and the stove put in. I do not have the half liner in, it goes right behind me here. But I just seam sealed everything. It's got seam sealer tape here, but I had to seal my new stove jack that I had to sew in. The first time I set this up, I put the stove in, and the Nico Alaskan has a 5-inch stovepipe at the base, and then it tapers to 4-inch at the top. And a stove jack that the Pomoly Hex Plus comes with, they're generally meant for the smaller titanium stoves, and they have 3-inch pipes. So they had a 3-inch opening cut. Well, it's sewn in, and they use heat resistant fabric and no heat resistant thread. So they have issues with their stove jacks. I solved the problem. I bought the stove from Wall Tent Company, I do believe, and they also sell stove jacks. They have the NASA rubber thing, and then the flame resistant or flame proof and heat resistant fabric, and it's siliconized on one side so it's rain proof or water resistant, waterproof, and then it comes with a storm flap to cover it for when you're not using the stove, but that's canvas because it's meant for a canvas tent. This is not canvas, it's that Oxford 300D. So it's silver lined on the inside and tan beige on the other side. I'd wanted brown, and when I ordered it, everything was in stock, but then I emailed the company because it was like 2 weeks later, never got a shipping notice, and they said, oh well, the brown is out of stock. If you want white or khaki, we can ship it out tomorrow. I got khaki. Anyway, the first burn I had in here, it melted the, I had to cut that opening, the 3-inch opening for the 4 7/8 inch pipe up there. And I figured being flame resistant fabric and everything, it would work. No, the fabric started melting. This stuff, it's like 1100 degrees fabric, and the rubber, I'm going to call it a washer, is somewhere around 800 degrees. My pipe don't get that hot. I'll show it to you now. Let me get you here. Burning good. As you can see, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 little wrist size logs in there. I make my little homemade table. I changed the leg. Instead of 2x4, I just used 3/4 copper. And that, my friends, is the new stove jack. The other one that came with the tent, the entire stove jack was about 1 inch bigger than that black rubber gasket. So it wasn't very big. So yeah, I had to cut that all out, sew that all new in, and I'm not a seamstress or a tailor or anything. I had to look up online how to thread the bobbin in the sewing machine, put it that way. So with that in mind, like there's the storm flap, You can see the stitches are not perfectly straight, but the fabric is all nice and tight and straight, which I'm pleased with. See, I got a gap there, right there, where I didn't continue the sewing. But hey, I got it all seam sealed. It all works. Nothing is melting. And I'm sitting in my little turkey hunting chair, and I got plenty of room above my head. The pole does come with a little metal hook, and that's to hang a lantern, and I have one on there. 2 doors, one on each side, great big doors. Doors go from there to there, and that's half the door, and the other half is there to there. I only use one half at a time. Like this, I don't even have that peg undone. And that one I just got looped on so the wind doesn't blow it open. I'm just basically testing that stove jack because I just recently got that put in. So far, it's good. It's 55 degrees outside right now. And it's gotta be 80 in here. Up there, easily 100. Got my little oil lantern there. Thought I could hang that from that loop, but it hangs crooked because the loop, I'll just show you. Bear with me here. Better start taking your clothes off. It's getting hot up here. But anyway, this little loop, see how there's nothing to really hold that up? And when I put that lantern on, it kind of sits this way. I'll just show you. It does work, but see, the weight of it pulls that down, and then it doesn't sit straight. That's straight. I'll get you back here. That's straight. So what I'd have to do is get a little wedge up here and stick it in there. Oh, where am I? There you go. A little wedge up there where my finger's moving. Stick that in there. So we'll go on the outside. So far that's all working good. Toasty in here. What I did here, see the little stick? Kind of lifts that up a little bit more over that stove. I don't like that fabric, that tent fabric, being so close to the stove. I don't like it getting that hot. Sewed in some Velcro so when I'm not using it, it secures down. And that canvas is siliconized on one side too. You can see the black line there is where the old fabric was melting because I had the stove set right on the ground. I didn't have the legs folded up because I didn't have this set up then. And that fabric all kind of leans in a little more. Then I added a piece of 4-inch there where it's leaning, and a little adjustable elbow just to get it up a little higher past the peak. It all works, but see how I did this? I just cut the stick, drove it in the ground a little bit, took the saw and cut a notch up there, sunk the rope in there, looped that around first and then sunk the rope in, pulled her tight. That's the rain cap there. I like it so far. Works good. But like I said, I seam sealed all these seams on the outside here. Now I gotta let it set up for a day. And that's a little vent there. You can take that top off too, and that's completely open. But otherwise, see how low these sit without any support. But this side I don't need pulled up too much. That half liner goes in there anyway. Alright, getting ready for my trip to Missouri. That is the Pomoly Hex Plus tent with half liner, which you didn't see yet because I don't have it in there, and the Nico Alaskan stove with DIY homemade cookie sheet copper pipe table stand, stove, shelf, whatever you want to call it. Alright, I'm going to go hang out in there a little bit. Alright, welcome back again. It's me. It's getting awfully warm in here. Well, I got my flannel, my other little flannel, t-shirt, jeans. 50 degrees outside now. And this is sweet. I bought one of them little fireplace fans, you know, that you set on top of the fireplace, no electricity, just to see if I could get the air from this side where the fire is over to this side where the sleeping is. You know, kind of help circulate just a little bit. Optimal range for this thing is like 4 to 450. So, with it not completely stoked up, be an average burn, that thing works pretty good. I got the, I should tighten it up a bit. Merry-go-round. I got the little lantern up there now. I don't know if you can see the screen on this thing, but right there, 420 about, and that fan's spinning good. The damper is at 560, and up here where the hits the stove jack, 420, and everything's good yet. The tent fabric itself, almost 200. That stuff is 220. That thing works good. I can feel it. I mean, it moves a little bit of air, but I didn't need a great big fan in here. Just something to move a little bit of air. Let's see how this is burning. So far, so good. This is going to be nice. Dark time with all the silver lining. I see this screen lights up real nice so you can see me with just a little light up there. Be able to film a little more this end of the month and next month when I go to Missouri. Pretty nice so far. Alright, catch up with you in a bit. Yeah, and another little side note, if you're concerned about carbon monoxide, not enough air getting in, you can see all along the edge there, it's a sod skirt. There's plenty of space for it to come in, and then if you even, like say winter time, if you cover that sod skirt with snow, it's going to be sealed up like that. Well, over here you still have a vent that comes in. Because that up there I do have sealed off pretty good. I can open that up too from the outside, but you can see daylight coming in. So it's not like you're really going to suffocate. So far so good. Like I said, I'm not a tailor or a person that even knows how to sew. I just hope my stitching lasts. I guess time will tell. So far the stove jack's working excellent. Excellent. And it seals up nice around that pipe. So if it does rain or snow or something, it's hardly anything is going to get in there. And besides, it's going to run down that pipe anyway, and it's going to evaporate before it gets anything wet in here anyhow. Just got to come up with a ground sheet now, and that's just going to be a cheap tarp. Yeah, can you see me? Yeah, it's just going to be a cheap tarp, and then maybe leave it open a little bit by the stove, you know, up in there, in front of the stove a little bit, just in case sparks come out of there and land. Doesn't start everything on fire. But I was thinking, like, just tarp the whole area, and then get a welding blanket, the fiberglass stuff, and just lay that down, like just under, or a pan or something, I don't know. It's all new to me yet. But I'd like to get a ground cover in here, just so when it does rain outside, if it comes down and through or something, I don't get it all muddy, you know. Because all my gear's going to be in here. I'll be sleeping on this half here that I'm sitting in now. So far so good.